So, you want to snoop in your daughter's texts? Welcome to Reddit Rundown. Today, let's talk about revenge, from one of the top posts of all time on Reddit's page Petty Revenge. So I'm married to a wonderful woman. She's smart, funny, and very kind. Her mother is generally very nice, and tends to have a great attitude and be very enjoyable. A bit of a prude, but generally enjoyable, however can be a bit of a major snoop. If my wife leaves her phone sitting around, she will just pick it up and start going through it. My wife has kind of laughed this off as a remnant of her mom being controlling when she was a kid. I'm not a fan of this because my wife and I will sometimes text about things that simply don't involve her mother and I don't feel are he business at all. So over Christmas, I saw my wife set her phone down on the kitchen counter and I had a brilliant idea. Her mom was still in the kitchen, and I sent my wife the most sexually depraved text about all the things I was going to do to her when everyone left. Honestly, most of them are things we haven't even done, but I had to make it extra scarring. I sent this text from the bathroom, and maybe it was my imagination, but I could swear I could hear an audible gasp shortly after her phone went off. When I went out, her mother absolutely would not look me in the eye, then not so discreetly asked her daughter to come talk to her in the other room. When my wife came back into the living room, thought she had been crying. However, upon closer inspection, she was laughing. Her mother had questioned her about me sexually abusing her, and if I always talked down to her like that. My wife had told her kindly that what we do is between us and us only. Probably the best gift this Christmas. Woo! Here are some top comments on this post. I love that she didn't deny doing those things, just told her mother it was none of her business what you two did, thus preserving the mental scarring. Woo! My mom did this for the first time the other night. We went out and grabbed a drink, and I left my phone on the table because I didn't give a shit. Thought, it's my mom. Nah, but she had moved it and my texts were open when I came back. But I quit out of apps immediately when done with them. She admitted to it and said she was just tipsy and curious, but man, feels violating. Never snooped on anyone before, and definitely won't knowing how it feels. Woo! Lock your phone. If people sense that you don't take their privacy seriously, they won't be open with you. Not locking your phone has major implications for the privacy of others, not just yours. Woo! Wow, that is even worse. An unlocked phone I could understand giving into curiosity, but snooping the password from watching you beforehand? That's cold ass plan breaching of privacy. I would not accept an apology for that shit. Woo! My phone auto unlocks if in the vicinity of my home router, which I occasionally forget, because it's usually inconsequential. Well, a woman I had just started dating was left alone for a few minutes with my phone nearby. I thought nothing of it, but she went through it examining my text history with women, leaving several messages open and scrolled with people I hadn't spoken to in months. That is the only time I have kicked someone out of my home. I am a very calm person normally, but that event had me shaking with violation and anger. Woo! Yeah, that's not okay. Invasions of privacy like that feel so and are totally unnecessary. I can somewhat understand a snooping if shady behavior has gone down. I don't feel it's right or justified in any way, and isn't acceptable, but I can understand the motivation in a moment of desperation at the very least. For someone you'd barely even started dating to just casually start going through your huge red flag. Woo! Lol, fantastic. You should have given her mom a little wink at some point. Woo! She should password protect the phone anyway. I never used to lock my phone, because I didn't really think I'd care if someone went through it. Then one day, my phone fell out of my pocket as I leapt over a puddle. An hour or so later, when I realized it was gone, I went to the Android device manager and saw that it was in a neighboring city. It occurred to me that this person had access to my email, and that's basically the skeleton key that unlocks literally everything in my life. Luckily, the Android device manager lets you lock the phone remotely, and even more luckily, the person who found it was a kind-hearted commuter who'd brought it home and let it dry out and returned it to me the next day. But yeah, that was a wake-up call and I lock my phone now. Woo! I lost my phone last month. Although my phone was locked, I was constantly checking for malicious access. Years of data on my Google Drive, photos, personal notebooks could have been compromised. Woo! Get a phone with a fingerprint sensor next time. It's so easy to unlock your phone, it becomes second nature. I usually have my phone unlocked by the time I take it out of my pocket. Also, on Android phones, you can set up smart lock. You'll find it in the security settings for certain locations and devices. I have my phone set up to stay unlocked whenever I'm home or if I'm connected to my car's Bluetooth. Woo! For those with Touch ID devices, you can enable it too. Settings notifications previews when unlocked. Now, it will only show the previews when you have unlocked your phone with your finger, but haven't entered the home screen yet. Otherwise, they will show as, for example, WhatsApp, new message, with no specific details about it. You can also set it for specific apps if you want, so you can have all the previews appear normally, but previews from that specific app appear hidden until unlocked. For this, just find the app in the notification screen, and when you click on it, there will be previews setting at the bottom where you can enable the only when unlocked setting. Later, Op found out his wife was actually really into the idea of taking a dump on his chest and insists they do it right away. Woo! If you're old enough to be married, you're old enough to tell your mom to f*** off and stop reading your personal communications. Woo! I'm not sure every battle is a hill to die on. Not everything needs to be a fight. It's a conversation that's been had with my wife, and at the end of the day, it's her phone, and it's her privacy, and her decision. And I know you'll say I'm gung but it's ya privacy too. And that's true. So when the rare occasion comes when her mom is actually in town, I just don't text my wife. Unless it's the one-off description of my stuffing her baby baker full of man meat. This is Reddit Rundown. If you watch this, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell button for more video. Thanks for watching.